Hey guys, Mike Ortiz here again with Maverick, and I'm gonna drop one that's gonna be lightning fast. It's gonna go super quick. I just want you to see this for yourself. So it's a next level what AI is built into the system, integrated to the system, GHL together. I'm gonna show you really quickly what that looks like, what we're doing with it, and what the potential could be. So this is where we're at. On the last video, I will say I showed you how to build the automations, right? Workflows, and you can go back and check that out if you need to, because this is going to be follow through. We're doing this in stages, and then this is all going to lead up to a live video where we're going to build everything out together. But I just want you to know this video is now taking on the outlook of, hey, okay, what do I do after the automations are ready and they're working? Sending messages, or I've already got the system ready to go with my website, right? Which we did before that video. So you can go back to that one, and it's building an AI website like speed, lightning speed without a sweat, right? Maybe 30 minutes and you are good to go with everything you need for that website to be complete and looking good and optimized. But there is on the outset, again, on that video I share, that vibe is coming. It's going to be combined and make a site build done within seconds instead of minutes, right? So now this video today, this again has to do with building specifically a, I want to say your assistant, your AI assistant assigned within the system of GHL. GoHighLevel is going next level. They are, beating around the bush when it comes to AI. It is on point, moving forward, moving fast, and this update changes the game. So I'm going to show you. I'm not going to scroll any further up. I'm just going to minimize my head. We're going to make that a little smaller. And what's happening here is at the very top of the menu. If you can see that here, right above Launchpad. So all you need to do is go and into labs, right? And then I won't go through this whole process. If you don't know, it's really quick. You go into your agency settings, go into labs, and then go to the actual sub account that you want to activate this for, unless you wanted to go across the whole entire universal setup for the systems right behind the scenes and load it, right? The AI, ask AI. So then we're on this first menu, this top menu here at the very, very top left, and you click ask AI. It actually is, it will load for you. Just make sure to do a hard refresh if you need to, if you're not seeing it. And here we go. So you can start a new chat and you're off and running. You don't have to do anything hard. It's not crazy. So just so you know, that's how fast this can get set up. Now, right now, what I'm doing, I'm actually doing something with our client work, and I just populated basically a follow-up setup. So I want to make sure that as leads are coming in, right, we're running ads, we're doing new campaigns, we're not just sitting on our butts. We do what we say we're preaching, we practice what we preach, we do those things that we're saying we're like, hey, this works. Not just throwing it out to you as if it's working and promise that if you try you'll see results and blah blah blah. No, we've done it first to show the way, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go only scroll so far, but I basically set up a prompt very quickly. I'm not going to go any further than here actually. So I've prompted it and I said, please set me up with a follow-up SMS breakdown, right? Basically, keeping it on SMS. I don't want emails. You can, if you want to, you can just say, hey, set me up with a follow-up on the top warmed all the way to the hottest clients that are in my CRM currently. And what's going to happen is it basically does its job. You'll see it doing its breakdown of this. Hey, I'm working on it. This is where I'm at. A couple seconds will tick by and it'll show you exactly what it's doing. And then right here, I got contacts, but I won't show their information in that who should I send first and who should I, it actually asks you, should I send this specific type of messages? Do you want to warm them up again or do you want to go through the process? It actually asks you. So what I did was I said, well, I wanted to perform. I want to be able to go in as a human to a human, not AI to AI or AI trying to prompt like transactional texts, or messages. I want the most natural, most human, most personable, and a conversion-based behavioral type of text so that they see, okay, this is me following up with you, but not boring either. Because when you say, hey, so and so, it's me. I'm following up with you, and I want to. It's like, nope. That stuff does not work. People stop texting back. Your follow-up cannot be generic. It has to be more personable and show up like, hey, I personally am. I care for you. I've heard I always say, if you don't show you care, they don't care. If there is no care at all, there is no messaging. There is no follow-up for you coming back at you, trying to get those clients to get, back on the conversation, especially if you sent proposals, which we have. In this instance, there have been a couple of proposals sent already. So what we're trying to do is make sure that hey, did you get them? It's a micro step. We're not trying to get big commitments. Okay, go sign that proposal and let's get this going, right? Even got the proposal. So January 29th, right? Not too long ago had a call, we had dad's information, went through the whole process. Sophia and I work as a team, obviously, as you guys know. And basically this has been a process for them to understand, okay, well, this is how we work as professionals, and this is what you can do with this system. Sending ads straight to, into your CRM. When a person fills out the form, boom, they're in here. That's our process. Get into a conversation, get things going. Don't just sit there, speed to lead, right? We always say that's the most important aspect to when you're paying for traffic, you're paying for leads to come in. And when you do paid traffic, you are not going to be wasting your money if you make sure you have a great follow-up system. And that's what this is about. So the system is set up as automations, like we talked about last. The workflow is ready to rock and roll. It's already pushing the messages out automatically. We have the conversation AI when it needs to kick in and be like, hey, we can set you up an appointment. Just let us know. That no pushy, no salesy kind of dialogue, right, from the bot. And then here we are now saying, hey, I just want to have a couple messages followed up with my hottest leads as a prompt. And then boom, it takes off with asking those clarity questions. New micro commitment SMS this is the proposed message. So, hey, Scott, honest check. Did the proposal from the third end up in your inbox, or did it take a wrong turn somewhere? We want to make sure that you actually got to you, right? It actually made it to your inbox with an emoji. What I did though, and it explains why it converts better, right? Which is fantastic because I want that. I want that conversion style messaging, not just sit there. We want to see customers, right, sign up. So, and clients, we're not just going to waste our time, right? We're not going to just be putting out messages that aren't going to work. That's one of the things our business wants to grow. We're not sitting on our hands and waiting for this to happen by sending messages that really don't make sense. And this is the micro commitment, right? It breaks that down for us. So it gives an explanation, the process that it's breaking down. Then it also says, want me to go ahead and send these now to these specific people. And I said back, these are great. Just remove any dashes. I don't want these generic dashes that a lot of AI systems are pumping. They'll put these long, large dashes, and you're like, and if anybody knows AI, they're going to be like, okay, that's AI just chatting with me, right? Or emojis. So take those out. So clean and simple, here they are. Then here are the messages to these specific leads, right? To get back to them. And then ready to send these, just say the word and I'll fire them off. I said, yes, please send those messages. Those look good to me, right? Let me load the scale first, and it goes through the process of making sure it's going to be able to kick that into, that's what a skill is, this into motion within the system. So it checks it thought process, and pushes things forward. And next thing you know, you're in business. They've sent, done. Now it's a waiting game, it says, for Pawn Black. But I said, yes, please. But so let's see what we can do here. I want to push this next level that I get a task within the next 3 days if they haven't followed up with me. If I haven't heard back, right? Not pushy, not minutes, not like this has to happen now, no pressure. We want to make sure that they are getting those texts first. Don't just like set this into motion so that it fires off within seconds. And then boom, it's going to basically set me up. It took a few minutes to process, right? You can even open this and see the process itself, the length of time it took, all that. And then boom, done. In task, follow-up task, right? Done, finished, and in the CRM. And each task includes this full context, right? And then it asks if either, reply before then, you can simply mark done. But then it says, want me to do anything else for the remaining list? There's 3 other leads that are potentials. And I could continue on here and just keep saying, yes, please send to new texts, send something that actually nudges them along, right? And that's as simple as it gets. I'm going to stop here because I'm literally telling you that's all it takes. So if anything, get in there, jump in, log in, go put it to the test for yourself if you have a GHL account. If you don't, I'll make sure to put a link down below. You can do a 30-day trial and see if this kind of stuff works for you. Other than that, I hope to see you on the live coming up soon. Don't forget, hit subscribe and the bell. You'll be notified for the next video I drop, and then join us on that live call when we all do this together. All right, until then, have a great one.